Hello Martins Creek parents and guardians. We hope you're doing very well. Despite the many challenges that lay ahead of us, we're very excited about getting to work with our students again, both through distance learning and in person. It won't be possible for me to cover every aspect of what school will be like when it reopens in this video, but I will cover as many key details as I can. First, of course, all parents have the option to choose distance learning for their children. If parents choose this option, they must stick with that option for the first semester. If parents choose in-person for their students, they may choose to switch to distance learning at any time. However, just like the students who begin the year as a distance learner, once parents or students make that switch from in-person to distance learning, they must stick with that choice for the first semester. Now, these two options may be a lot more alike than you might realize. That's because all students, including those who attend in person, will be learning through a new online program or platform called Canvas. So Canvas is a digital platform where teachers create and upload content, lessons, assignments, things like that, for their students to view and to interact with. The primary difference between students who attend in person and those who learn completely at home are as follows. Students who are on campus are served breakfast and lunch. They can see some of their peers. They have a recess, and they can use the school's internet connection from within a classroom, whereas students who are learning from home could come to campus and access the Wi-Fi from their cars without getting out or coming in. Of course, students who attend on campus do not need parental supervision, which can allow parents to report to work. So those are the primary differences between the two different options. Almost all of you completed an online parent survey that Cherokee County Schools published several weeks ago, either directly or by providing me with your answers so that I could enter them for you. If you haven't already notified us of your choice by either calling or completing an online survey, please contact us right away. Now I'd like to move on to the part that you may have been wondering about the most, which is scheduling. All schools in Cherokee County will open with a staggered schedule of student attendance. This means that not all the in-person students will come to the campus on the same days. There will be a Group A and a Group B. Group A will attend school on Mondays and Tuesdays. All students are distance learners on Wednesdays. Group B will attend on Thursdays and Fridays. At Martins Creek School, Group A is composed of grades K through 4, and Group B is made up of students in grades 5 through 8. Pre-K students will attend every day except Wednesdays. Again, students in grades K through 4 attend on Mondays and Tuesdays, and students in grades 5 through 8 attend on Thursdays and Fridays. Grouping students by grade level rather than by their last names will allow our school to maximize the number of staff available to ride buses and do screenings for students as they're dropped off. I'll speak more about the screening process in a moment. When we developed our A-B grouping plan, we tried to carefully consider all sibling relationships, including high school age siblings. The best we could determine taking this approach should not leave any young students at home without supervision while their older siblings attend school. However, if we failed to spot a conflict or problem for the supervision of your child in developing the schedule, please don't hesitate to contact us, and we'll do everything we can to accommodate and to ensure that this grouping and this schedule do not cause any young students to be at home without supervision. The goal of Cherokee County Schools is to get all students back in person as soon as safely possible. It is our hope that for Martins Creek School, it may be possible to have all students begin attending in person after a number of weeks, assuming that all goes well with our screening procedures and our safeguards. This plan will be evaluated weekly. Of course, when and if the time comes that we can begin transitioning more students or greater participation at school on the same day, we will notify parents. Now I will talk about screening procedures. Every person, meaning all staff members and students, must have a temperature check, have their hands sanitized, answer screening questions, and put on a mask before entering the building each day or at the bus stop. Parents and guardians will be provided attestation forms that they can use to attest that their child is free of all symptoms that could indicate possible COVID-19. Here's what that form looks like. This form will be completed and submitted once each grading period. However, this form does not replace the screening procedures, meaning the temperature check, health questions, etc., that must be administered daily. Here is the list of symptoms for COVID-19 that we will check for. These questions will be posed directly to middle school students who happen to be car riders. For elementary student car riders, the questions will be posed to the adult who drives them to school. Parents should make staff aware of any known, regular, or recurring symptoms, such as allergies. Such symptoms won't necessarily mean that a child cannot attend school as long as they can be satisfactorily accounted for and they are not accompanied by a fever. I want to take a moment to speak to you on a personal level and ask you for your help. During normal times, it was fairly common for parents who needed to go to work to give a child Tylenol in the morning to bring down his or her fever and then send that child to school. I completely understand the need to support a family and to stay on good terms with employers, but I ask that you please never do that this coming school year. It may well be that your child's fever is a result of something other than COVID-19, but there's really no way for you to know that. If you give your child medication to lower the fever and effectively hide a symptom, then send him on to school, you're not only gambling your child's opportunity to attend in person, but you're actually gambling with everyone's opportunity. In that sense, we all have a responsibility to each other. If we were to have a positive case of COVID at school, it could mean that the school would have to close temporarily to in-person students, or it could be that a particular class would have to go completely to distance learning. This could be for a number of days or even a couple of weeks. The superintendent would have to make that decision in coordination with the health department. So please don't risk it. Give your child time to get well and be symptom-free without medication before you send him or her to school. Now I'd like to talk about what the school day will be like. For the first few weeks of school will begin at 7:30 and will end at 2 p.m. After students have been screened for symptoms, they must all report directly to their homerooms and stay there throughout the day. If there is not a restroom in the classroom, students may travel to the restroom one at a time. Students may have recess, but only one class at a time, and the playground may be zoned so that no more than one class uses a particular piece of equipment during a single day. For the first few weeks, classes will not travel to the gym, library, art room, music room, or any location other than their assigned classroom. Neither will those teachers come into their classrooms. This is not only to avoid potential spread of the virus, but also to help with any contact tracing in the event that we have a confirmed case of COVID. All students will have to wear masks inside the building except when eating. We are allowed to give them 15 total minutes of mask breaks during each day. This may be allotted as 5 3-minute breaks. Students can also take off their masks for recess as long as they stay 6 feet apart. Pre-K students fall under federal program guidelines when they are inside their classroom. However, when they are outside of their classroom, they fall under the K-12 guidelines, which means that they would have to wear masks in those locations, which would include, for example, the hallways. Unfortunately, parents may not enter the building to walk their children to class. This includes pre-K parents. The pre-K teacher, teacher assistant, or other staff will sign in and sign out pre-K students each day. Non-staff adults are not to enter the building unless it is absolutely necessary. Any adult who does enter must have a temperature check, sanitize hands, and wear a mask. This is not up for debate or negotiation. Anyone who tries to defy this rule would likely be charged with trespassing and likely be barred from all Cherokee County campuses. As I'm sure you know, the public has a wide range of opinions concerning the virus, masks, and anything associated with the pandemic. We, as a public school district, cannot engage in debate concerning those guidelines. We just simply have to follow them and safeguard our students and all stakeholders the best we can, which brings us back to that collective responsibility that we all have to each other. We do hope to offer aftercare and the 21st Century Learning Program after school. However, those programs won't be open for the first couple of weeks. There's a lot of things that have to be worked out in order for that to be made available, but it is our goal to offer those. On days when your child is learning from home, whether that's all 5 days or 3 days per week, there will be a set time frame during which the student must sign in remotely in order to be counted present for the day. Because I don't want to misinform anyone about how attendance will work, and because this information is fairly complicated and may be still being worked out, I'll save that information for a separate communication of some sort. But for now, suffice it to say that students will be responsible for signing in within a certain time frame in order to be counted as present. For families with no internet connectivity, it may mean that they call into the school to sign in for the day. We will not be able to host an open house this year, but next week teachers will contact parents of any students who are completely new to the school, as well as any students who will be complete distance learners. The first day for students in grades K through 4 is Monday, August 17th, both for in-person and distance learners. The first day for students in grades 5 through 8 is Thursday, August 20th, for both in-person and distance learners. Students who have school devices at home and who are attending in person should bring those devices with them to their first day of in-person school. All students should bring a reusable water bottle if possible. If not, we will provide one. I'll close by saying that Martins Creek School is going to do everything that we can to give students whatever they need, educationally, socially, while also keeping them safe. If you have any questions, you can call the school, you can send me a text message, you can email me or Mrs. Lugowitz, our assistant principal. If you comment down below or send a Facebook message, most likely we will not see that. Thank you for listening. There'll be more information forthcoming, and as we learn new information, you will learn new information. Thank you very much.